Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hi. I was wondering, would you go work with me today? Or would you rather take $1,000 cash right now?
Uh, what kind of work is it?
Cleaning, could be any type of job. What would you...
How long does the job last?
The job is kind of like permanent, to be honest.
Well,
You could literally work every single day.
Mhm.
Or you can have $1,000 right now. You can grab it and you don't have to see me again.
Well, I always say if I had a job, I could get off these streets.
Wow, okay. So you rather have a job?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold on to this. And let me ask you, I know you're living on the streets right now. How long have you been living right here?
A little over 5 years now.
5 years? And what exactly happened? How did you ended up on living on the streets?
I was an alcoholic, and my sister got tired of my shit, and she kicked me out.
So you were alcoholic and you were living with a sister?
Yep.
So was she the one literally like paying your bills and like you were like depending on her for that too,
Um,
or you were
well,
helping working too?
I worked. I was
Oh, you was
working at
work- okay.
Panera Bread in Elsinore.
Lake Elsinore?
Yep.
Okay. And so basically your sister just didn't want you around no more just because you have a drinking problem.
Yep.
Did you try to like hit people when you were drunk, or did you try to be abusive, or
No.
none of that stuff?
I was usually quiet. I just sat in my room and watched superhero shows.
Okay. And one day you wanted to be a superhero?
Nah. When I was a kid, I used
Yes,
to.
right?
I thought
But
it was real,
that's
but,
that's what I would do too when I was a
snap
kid.
back to reality
I would do like like I'm a Spider-Man or something, right?
Yep.
You think
My
about
little
those
nephew
things.
used to try and get bit by spiders so he could become Spider-Man.
Oh my God. He was putting spiders on him. Wow. Okay. Well, anyways, so your reason was this, but do you know all the people like around here, everybody has a different story. Not everybody has
Yeah.
drug problem, not everybody is alcoholic, or not everybody,
We're all still human. We all have our
we,
individual
you guys are human, and people look, to be honest, look a lot down on you guys, which is really bad, because I think buying somebody just a meal a day can make somebody's day. So if anybody can buy you a meal or something, I think that would be great. Or if you guys see ever homeless, buy them a meal, because you never know what somebody's going through. If even somebody has even ate in a few days.
Yep.
So how do you usually find food? Or
Well, I hold my sign out
Okay.
in front of the stores or on the freeway off ramps.
Okay. And how does that sign work? Like, does it guarantee you like people are gonna help you, or is it
No, there's no guarantees in this life.
no guarantees?
No.
So out of like maybe 100 people, maybe 2 people will stop.
Take
And
that.
do people give you more food or money?
Depends on the day.
Okay,
Some days are better than others.
got it. Okay. Well, what do you prefer? Do you prefer food, or would you prefer like
I
somebody?
prefer money because then I can go and buy my food.
You can buy what
things
you
I
need.
want. I can go and wash my clothes.
Your essentials, yeah. And where do you usually wash your clothes?
There's a 24-hour laundromat on Magnolia, down past Van Buren.
Got it. Okay. All right. That makes sense. So before you lived with your sister, who did you live with then?
I was in South Carolina for the last 11 years.
Okay. And what did you do in South Carolina? Were you working? What were you working as?
Well, in the end, I was homeless, but I worked off and on doing remodel construction.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I did landscaping,
No way.
helped cut down trees.
That's crazy. So you know a lot of those handyman work. So I would say you are really, 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 really talented, man. So if you're given right now like construction work or this type of work, would you be interested in doing something like that also?
Definitely. I'll take pretty much any kind of work I can do.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have been here how many years again? Sorry.
I've been back in Riverside for 5 years, a little over 5 years.
So you were
grew up
with
out
your
here.
with your sister was in Lake Elsinore, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so from
Lake
Lake Elsinore
Elsinore,
you just
Paris.
came here and you stayed here. Why did you pick Riverside though?
That's where I grew up.
You grew up in Riverside, so you wanted to be around the same.
I want to come back to my hometown.
How are the people that are like living around you? How are they? Have they been helping you? Have they been doing good with you, or?
It's hit and miss. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. We all have good days and bad days.
No, I totally no. That's totally true, man. Like, but you know what? I have seen most of the nicest people are actually living on the streets. Because they understand the situation people are going through. They do feel, that you're in need, or they actually help me a lot too. You know, when I go to them asking them for $1, $2, they are the first one that will help me, rather than me, you know, being inside of a Walmart. Nobody wants to help there, you know. So what would be like your message to people right now that are alcoholic or they are into drugs? What is a positive thing you can tell them? Things that you couldn't do but you would want other people to do.
Well, I quit drinking after I became homeless.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's amazing. So how did you do that? I want to hear that.
I just didn't have no money and couldn't buy it, and I'm sick of being caught stealing, so I quit stealing.
Wow.
I had to go through withdrawals for a week. I was sick. I thought I was going to die.
Wow.
Throwing up blood wasn't fun. I
Wow.
knew that kicking alcohol is worse than kicking any drugs out there.
Wow, bro. So your message to them is to stop drinking. You're going to waste your life. You're going to waste your time.
Everybody's different. Some
Right.
people can handle their drinking.
Okay.
Some people can't. I couldn't.
You couldn't.
I needed to quit.
But what can the alcoholic problems lead to? What would you tell them? What can you be?
All kinds of different problems. You can black out and not know what you did the night before.
Okay.
Wake up in a place you don't know where you're at.
Or you can even end up on the streets. You never know, right? You can lose everything. You can lose your job. You can lose your license. You can lose your home. You can lose everything.
I have lost everything.
Yeah, and again, like I said, I respect the people actually that are living on the streets. I have so much respect for
bread because of my drinking.
because of your drinking problem.
They said I came to work drunk and I wasn't drunk. It was beer breath from the night before.
Oh, wow. That is crazy, man. You know what? I really appreciate you choosing the right thing, because I wanted to give you the $1,000. You denied that, and you wanted to take a job instead. So this job actually has something in there for you. So look at the dust pad. There's actually cash, and I'll even drop the $1,000 for you, man.